Introducing the one and only Camp Chai, Sammy. Hey, Sammy.
Hi, how's it going?
Thanks
Welcome.
for coming. You're a bit of a Skokie celebrity these days.
You have created Camp Chai, which is the best summer camp that honestly my children have ever attended in their few years of life.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Yes, I would agree. My kids came home, Camp Chai cheerleaders all the time. Very happy to have had this camp this summer.
Yeah, it's been an awesome summer. Not like it was unbelievable. Could not have asked for a better start.
How did you get into this whole idea to have the best summer? Like, you weren't thinking like, I'll just have a regular summer camp. You were like, no, guys, let's make it the best summer camp. Not
Yeah,
that, we're advertising for it.
yeah.
But
Obviously, I had this idea like last year. I've always wanted to be a camp director and run a camp. And obviously things worked out last year as like I got a lot of help from a lot of great people. And so I've been a part of different camps and had a lot of great bosses and people that have mentored me and showed me how to like obviously be with kids and work with other people and run camps. And like one thing that I picked up obviously is like it's a very basic thing, but not everyone just thinks of it and always puts into action. Just making these kids feel as special as like the most special people ever. So like I made sure to like to pride this camp around like every kid feels like that they're the most important kid in the world. So whether it was like the interviews or it was like doing special pictures or photo like or videos and just making them feel put them as the coach instead of the player. So like I made it to like try to make an atmosphere, an environment that like no camp has ever really done. I tried doing a lot of ideas, a lot of different things that no one's ever done before. It's great for the counselors to be happy and have a great time, but it's all about the campers. So that's what's going to make summer the summer. And also just like camps here, like I was at Kayitz one summer and I noticed like that all boys environment really changes everything. So then that also what makes it a little different. Like they're kids, they're young, and the fact that they were like a lot of campers were crying the last day of camp. Like I've never seen anything like that
That's
before.
so cute.
So like that's kind of like how that was my goal, like to have that type of thing where
To make kids cry.
no, like
yeah, me too.
to really like
I achieve it regularly.
Like this morning.
You should come to dinner time at our house. You'll have a blast.
So that was kind of my plan, and it all just amazingly worked out.
It's awesome that you were able to actually create that because that drop off, the counselors would like swarm every minivan and be high-fiving and cheering for the kids like they just, I don't know, won the Olympics or something. And it was just so great. And Allie and I discussed regularly if we should just stay and hang out and be
Yeah,
part of camp.
I got a text message from Ellie daily, maybe, and she was like, question, is it weird if we sign ourselves up for camp? And I said, yes, but we should probably
because
do it.
It's like the hype, the like energy was so high.
Did either of you work as counselors at any camp growing up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which ones? What about
That's
you?
yes, I can.
JCC.
Yeah, I did JCs for a long time. One of the things that when you were talking about drop off is that was the tone and energy that you set from the moment. And I remember distinctly some kids who are now adults living in our own community now being dropped off for camp when I was a counselor. And sometimes you had to like almost tear them out of
Their parents' hands.
the van and out of the parents' hands, and they were upset, they were crying, and it was probably less having to do with them not wanting to be at camp, but rather just the separation and anxiety of leaving home every morning. But the way that our kids experienced being dropped off at camp was celebrating that almost independence of them leaving the van, and it was exciting. You can hear the music from like half a block away as you're approaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was that kid. Like I never wanted to leave. Like I had a hard time going to camp at school. Like that was the kid you were describing. That was me. So I know what it feels like. Especially I went to the JCC or JCC, and there's so many kids there, and like you feel like that you're just one of a million. And so like that was kind of like the whole idea about starting camp, about all the counselors like swarming the cars, because then every kid feels like, oh, this counselor knows my name. He knows my name. He knows about me. And also something that I tried to do, like I tried to do my best to not just be a camp director, but also be somewhat of a camp counselor, like talking to the kids, just seeing like who they are and everything, what they do, what their interests are. So for example, like I know for sure with Ozzy, like they have baseball games going on like after camp. So I tell my staff first thing in the morning, like as soon as Ozzy, whoever it is, gets out of the car, ask them how their game was. 'Cause then it's not just like, oh, you're here during camp from 9 to 4. Like, like he had a game last night. Let's see how it was, see how he played. Or this kid's a White Sox fan, Cubs fan. Ask him, oh, did you see the game last night? Like, it's not just camp. It's like you can build that connection outside of camp, which I think is also a huge reason why kids are more like shy kids are less comfortable. We're able to
They were
feel that
engaged.
feeling. Yeah.
That takes such a level of preparation and awareness on your part and your entire staff. It's in. I mean, if I thought about doing that, I just wouldn't think that it would be sustainable. It'd be difficult to keep going and
I
save.
actually think he like figured out the recipe to how to help children actually feel like they are understood.
In a lot of camps, the counselors are fine, but it seemed like the counselors were also having the time of their life. Like they weren't just faking it and pretending to welcome kids like they were excited, but they were like actually excited and feeling it. And I wouldn't be surprised if you're still doing Camp High if my kids would want to be counselors at Camp High because it seems like so much fun to do it.
I'll bring it back again. Like I was at Kites that one summer, a couple summers ago, and the way they treat staff, because yes, like I said, campers are the most important thing. But if the counselors aren't into it and the counselors don't feel appreciated themselves too, then they're gonna lose you're gonna lose their trust, and like it's not gonna be a great like work environment. So to have that feeling where campers not just think that they're important, but they think, oh my gosh, this counselor, that counselor, the most coolest people ever. Like I want to be like that was me. Like I thought my counselor at the J were the coolest people ever, so I wanted to be a counselor at the J, and like that's how I all
So
started.
who were your counselors at the J?
Ben C. Neiman was like my favorite counselor of all
Oh,
time.
Ben C.
I don't like
Great.
he's
Rock star.
he's like. Then there's like other guys like Nachum Myers and like David Eisenstein. I don't know. Just really there's like Ben C. Neiman was my favorite counselor. Like when I had in my head like when I get older, like I want to be a counselor, just like how he was, how he like ran camp, and like that's what I want to do.
It's a huge compliment. It's incredible. Is Rabbi Polstein still running Kites?
Yeah. He's awesome.
I was at Kites for 3 summers, and Rabbi Polstein also. I feel like you have that same thing that he has like inside is this idea that he understands what makes for an enjoyable experience from a kid's standpoint and how to make them feel special. And Rabbi Polstein and the staff at Kites know how to do that. And I feel like you've emulated that and infused that into Camp Chai a lot, which is this like crazy excitement and freedom, but yet still in a safe environment.
Yeah, that's something I really took a lot from that camp, and I really try to make it kind of that overnight environment.
Even like the way you guys handled traffic, there was a dance move. Like the
Yeah,
guys
the
were
guy.
dancing,
There
and then
was
it
one
made me
specific
start
guy
dancing.
that he's like, you know, you should go that
and
way.
everybody was like doing this
Yeah.
like dance, and I was like, "You mean that way?" I'm like, "Did you guys notice people were dancing also?" Because I found myself like I couldn't. At a point, he was just like, "You just got to start driving," and I was like, "I'm so sorry." I
was
thought we were
distracted by the
dancing.
dance.
How long ago did you make that decision that you wanted to start a camp? And then what was the last at least year, I assume, lead up into the preparation? Because there's all the obvious stuff is you got to get staff. You got to, figure out what your day looks like. You got to plan activities. Then you have to also figure out the logistics of, okay, we need a facility. We probably need insurance. We also need to think about all the things like I was so impressed with the contingency plans when it rained and you had to quickly pivot and change, or buses didn't show up, and how you quickly changed the day's activities. I cannot imagine the logistical nightmare of planning for, but also then maintaining and managing throughout the summer.
So like last summer, I really had the idea, and really like I had my cousin Sutton Stone, who are counselors, they're very capable in helping start this, and my brother Adam, and we all kind of got together, and we just said we put our minds to it last summer in like June. We're like, we're making this happen next summer. Lee Gruen, who runs High Athletics, he was my basketball coach, and he's coached like years ago my siblings. He coached all of them, and we met with him in like August last year, at the end of the summer, and he told us, he said, like, I want you to run a camp. I'm out. This is not my thing at all. This is your thing, but I'm willing to back you up if you need insurance, you need X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm willing to be there, because he's in the business world. He's already established himself as High Athletics, and he's done a great job for himself. But so he told me, he goes like, I'll back you up, whatever you need from me. Like I'll be there to help. And then like, thank God we were able to get all that. We were able to get insurance. We were able to get location. Location is obviously very tricky. We were able to like lock all that stuff in, but just to have his trust and belief in us, like that was huge. And that really helped us start the camp.
I got to tell you, I expect every camp to have hiccups bumps, hurdles, issues, especially if it's their first year. And if there were issues, which I'm certain there were, I didn't notice any of them, and I heard nothing but positive praise. I can't even fathom the amount of issues going on in the background that you guys were able to manage and like put fires out and doing so without people even being aware of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very hard to block all that stuff out, but like, oh,
But tell us about some of it.
What was like one of the most challenging moments, days, or issues?
to be honest, like there really wasn't like the first Wendy Singer. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys know
of
Wendy
course.
Singers. She's been a huge help in helping me start like just ideas and advice. Like, cause I'm like only like I'm very young and like I don't have all the experience in the world. So she's been very, very helpful. And so like she told me after the first day, she said there are gonna be a lot of issues and all that type of stuff. And anything happened after the first day, the first week, I said there hasn't been one issue. Like no, not even like campers fighting or like disagreements. It's been like perfect.
You may feel like there weren't so many issues, but there were definitely. I mean, I remember you getting in touch with me many times, and I'm sure you sent to many parents about like different things that came up. Your kids might be upset because of this tournament that they lost, but like you turned it around. You would always turn it around for them. So I think that there was a lot of damage control you were doing, and didn't even like think about the fact that that could have been more of a disaster.
Well,
100%.
you were talking before about prepping your staff for
Disaster.
when they arrive, what kid has what activity that night or had the night before, or their teams that they follow, and you're prepping your staff to welcome the kids individually. You were
Yeah.
also doing that for many of the parents, if not all of them. And here's some
Oh
preparation
yeah.
for when the kids come home. You should know XYZ happened, like their team lost, or they might be bummed about this, or you should make sure they're hydrated, they worked really hard, or
Yeah.
it's that's a lot. You're constantly prepping every part of the community that's engaging with the camp.
Yeah, I think that's also a big thing why, like, obviously there were issues, but like that's obvious. That's like a big thing where it starts from like if you're one step ahead, like campers, kids, they're gonna, if something bad happens, like at the end of the day where they lose a game or something, they're gonna go home and be upset and probably complain about something else that happened, and it can lead to just other things they're upset about. So if you're for one step ahead of the game and a counselor comes up to me and says, Sammy, we lost this game, it's a little unfair, but we had to make this call because of that. Like, just let the parents know, then they're one step ahead when when their child comes into the car and they're not just thrown into like a whole mess because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Even positive things also that like things are so busy. I mean, maybe for me that I don't always acknowledge any of my kids that did something nice. It's just something that would have totally maybe gone over my head. But then I was able to like talk to them afterwards and be like, I'm so proud of you that you welcomed this kid or that you did that. Like, it's such a good feeling for them to know like they're being seen for the good things also. And just, I don't know, you helped me with that. As a parent, I felt like that was such a plus for me.
I try telling my staff that and like telling them like, listen, like it's there are a lot of there are gonna be little things little things that happen that campers do. Like take note of that. Like it's not all about like the campers that are most popular kid or best of sports or goes to the school that everyone else goes to. Like you have to look at some of the campers that may be a little quieter or may not be like the most like just like trying to get the most attention from you. You have to look at little things that happen and they'll appreciate if you acknowledge that this like one if one camper like opens the door for another camp. It's just like especially the younger kids, like if those little things that you tell them, they'll continue to do and they'll really really appreciate it. So I really that's like something I really try telling my counselors and like training and everything, like making sure that they're it's not just like who had the game winning hit. It's the little things that they do, like the meetups they have.
You also you like shout out to the counselor of the year or something. You even praised like the counselors that did a great job and promoted them on social media. You were all over social media. I love the interviews that you did with the kids and the
Amazing.
counselors, and you had the world's smallest step and repeat backdrop, which was hilarious. The counselors are
No,
towering
that
over
should
really
be your
small.
thing. So are you going to franchise?
Big picture for me is like I hope to eventually like down the line have obviously two separate campuses, boys girls camps, like starting from when like most day camps start 3 4 years old, go to sixth grade. Like this is like way in the future, like have overnight camps, like have a camp high overnight that they do, like I don't know, like Yeshivat HaKayitz overnight camp, boys and girls obviously separate campuses. And then I really want to start hopefully maybe this year's tough, I'm still in school, but next year start making like a whole like youth organization out of it where you have events during the school year. So it's not just camp, it's you're building like a camp high family. So you have sukkahs, there'd be like a flag football thing, and then there's There's a basketball tournament during Thanksgiving. There's a winter camp. There's Pesach events. There's Sunday, get the counselors, campers, go to mini golf or Six Flags, or just creating like a whole, like I in Israel, like when I was in yeshiva, like you go to different communities, you see like B'nai Kiva or other different organizations are huge, and these kids like Shabbos, they for 2 hours they go to these events. Like you have Skokie Link at Watersheds Park. You can have like Shabbos groups and then Shabbatons. Like that's long term,
I was
bigger
thinking
picture.
they need like something on Shabbos. The boys need like a structure. They're just hanging out all
exactly.
day.
That would be awesome.
And then a
Yeah.
school.
And a school.
That's
And
good.
maybe if
Coming
we could make
soon
a
to you.
dormitory for young children. Like not an orphanage,
starting
but
at
like an
the age-
elective
Starting at the age of 6. Like
Yeah.
sleepaway school.
sleep with
Camp.
boarding school. Yeah.
Please take the children, Sammy.
Sammy, it's great to have you on our show.
Thank you for having me, Ori.
Where do you get the Camp High logo from?
We had a family friend that she designed it. My sisters helped, and that's how we made it. And we like the color blue, and we wanted to get basketball in there because obviously play knockout every morning, and that's how we made it.
Do you have any other things besides the jerseys that we're gonna get next year for Camp High?
You'll find out. I can't spread all the secrets yet. You'll find out next summer. We got big stuff planned.
Sammy, who is your favorite 9-year-old camper? And me, don't forget me. And then who's your next 9-year-old favorite camper?
Either you 8 or 9.
9.
Um,
It's me.
there's definitely like a 40-way tie between all the 9-year-olds in camp. I don't know. All you guys are phenomenal.
about
There's
me?
no favorite,
You can't forget about me.
or you're
You can't
definitely
forget me.
unforgettable. You guys are all the best.
He like wasn't he the reason like he red team won because he got 100 points during davening?
There was in Mincha. Mincha was a game changer for the 4th and 6th graders.
Yes.
Yeah, red team got 100 points
Yeah,
for
That's
Mincha.
because everyone was down.
Yeah, Ori led that.
Is Kai still gonna be there?
Is
And-
Kai still?
Yeah.
Kai is still gonna be there.
Is Dave gonna be there?
Dave. Well, we'll ask Dave.
Dave left.
I know Dave is always welcome back.
How about Mayor?
Wait, why did he leave?
They're all they
Mayor.
there are a lot of counselors that went in and out this summer because they
What
have
about
other stuff
Dave's
planned.
brother?
Yaakov.
Who's Dave's brother?
Yaki, I think.
Yeah, Yak. Yeah,
Who's Dave's brother?
Yak. He was 3B counselor.
What about
Stone. At the remember at like the last day or second last day where Adam looked like he was gonna puke.
Yeah, Adam spit up the pickle. That was real. Adam has never had a pickle before, and Stone never ate a banana. I'll tell you a story. Do you know why Adam doesn't like pickles?
why?
Because when Adam was in 2nd grade, he
Mhm.
ordered hot lunch at school, and Adam loved hot dogs.
Mhm.
And it was hot lunch,
But, like,
and they
pickles.
put the pickles on the hot dog, and he threw it away, and he wouldn't eat it. And since then, he's never liked
Sammy.
pickles.
Are you embarrassed from having your parents in the with you in Camp High?
No, I I love my parents. They're the best. They're always welcome at camp. Or I heard one time you made like
It's
in
just
knockout you had
fun.
like 7. You had like 7 made shots in a row, and the one time you missed.
I know.
And
It
he
was
got out?
crazy. They wouldn't
I
stop
made
talking
8
about it.
threes in a
And
row
I
I think they
in
said it was the
knockout, and I
most shots
still
made
won.
like in
And then he got
consecutively.
out?
No, I think
Yeah, it
he's
was the one
throwing.
time.
Are we still gonna have Gatorade next time we go to Camp High? Because I really like Gatorade.
Yes, and should I tell you crazy news for next year?
Yeah.
What?
No more hose water.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
That's the thing
God.
that was
It's
waiting
a party.
for.
Adam filled it up.
It wasn't
right?
hose water. It wasn't
Adam
hose water,
filled it
but it
up.
tastes like hose water. There are a lot of kids this summer. We still have some spaces left.
Thank you so much for being on our show. And
You're the coolest person ever. Click the link below to sign up for Camp High.
Great. Thank you so much, guys. We are.
Camp High!
Why am I the only one wearing a Camp High shirt?